part 2 of my Montana trip. Cue the banjo. See that right there? Right here, it's rub tree from elk. So all along here, elk's been passing through here and rubbing up in trees, stuff like that. That's how you can tell. I live in Texas, and there's I don't know, a lot of hunters go out there and do big game hunts and stuff like that. They spend $15,000–$20,000 for a hunt on a high fence area and such like that. I've never really done that. I look for signs, look for poop on the ground, look for trails, come out and know the land before I go out there and do anything on it. So anyway, those are signs you look for. Okay, look through here. Look right through here. The trail. Another thing to look for. Come up through here, you can see it. They've been using this trail through here. Oh, and obviously it don't fit through there very good. See, right here. They're coming down through here. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Or a little bit of a rub tree. Deer poop. There's elk right there. Yep.
Bear shit right there.
Yeah, I was thinking that was bear. Bear scat. Right here too. We're gonna go down to the homestead. Yeah, got an old corral over here. Pretty cool. Old outhouse. Still can use that outhouse, by the way. May actually use it, actually. And the homestead over here. You people lived in that over there. Makes us, our generation, look like a bunch of, well, pansies. I'll use the word pansies. So the outhouse. Oh, that's nice. Bullet hole. I don't know if that's going in or going out. Looks like it was going out. That doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, not a bad. It's got provisions. Obviously, people need to leave their mark here in more ways than one. Okay, this is where we depart. What's that?
How's the privy?
It's actually quite clean.
It's fresh up.
Oh.
You were poking out here where we hung stuff.
Uh-huh.
Probably hung meat.
Probably hung meat up there.
Deer, elk, cows. I don't know. And then here's the house. And there's the old stove.
Oh, I was wondering, so that's the barn.
That's the barn.
That's the barn. What's the circle cut in the barn? Is that for a stove, a heater?
Probably that toilet they cut in there.
Oh, that's right.
Here's this whole stove and the pipe and everything.
Yep.
There's a bed frame.
Oh, yep.
How'd you like
Bed
to live in this sucker?
Well, like I said before, it makes our generation look like a bunch of pansies.
Oh, well, you know, you had to live in something before you made this.
This is true.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's 4 chainsaws.
So what is this thing? It's an Arctic Cat. Right there. 500 Ultra Air. So I assume that means this is a 500cc 4-stroke motor. It's got 4x4 on it. Ultra Air, probably all terrain. It's got low, neutral, high, reverse. It's a CVT transmission, I believe. It's got all the power in the world you need. Look at the tires on this thing and the suspension on it. It's pretty cool. I don't have one of these things. I don't need something like this in Houston. I borrow the families when we need it. So it's really generous of them to allow me to use it.
A big expensive car, make a lot of money, buy me a honey, live in a nice big house where it's sunny with a pool, and I'll be cool. I'll always have a gig, cause I'll be big. I have parties, friends, places to go. Only problem is I play the banjo. I'm a post-hee-haw boofa, a funkadelic, punk rock groover, a cross between Bela Fleck and Eddie Vedder and Better. I'll be admired for the way I pick an instrumental monster with tons of new licks. All the babes will help me sell out shows. Only problem is I play the banjo. Everywhere I go, my fans will scream, "Hey banjo boy, we love you. I wish we could all play the banjo too." You'll see me on the TV talk show with Dave, Conan, Jay Leno. Only problem is I play the banjo.
Main Street on Marysville. Candy store. And looks like they're doing some reno over here. Looks like that building could use it. But still, probably old homestead, Main Street. Really cool. Look at all the brickwork on that, or the stonework on that. That's great. I'm not sure what that building was. It's a lodge. And the restaurant we're eating at, right over there. And a little hardware store. I think that is a old-time hardware store. Got some crazy stuff in there. Pretty much a small mining town just down the street or down the way from the property. on the other side. And this restaurant's supposed to be really, really good. And I'm starving because I didn't have any lunch. And again, my pants are falling off me from doing all this hiking. Definitely several miles today. And, well, get something to eat. So I've been passing this car 5 or 6 times coming in and out of the mountains, and I finally just had to stop and take a look at it. It's actually at a shop's right now. It's a customer's car, and it is superb. It'd make a great project, quite honestly, or keep it the way it is and just keep on driving it. It's sitting up here in Helena, and I can't find any rust on this car. This is solid. You know, back where we get the rust on these things, all right around here. And that's just a product of this climate that we have out in the Northwest. It's basically a desert climate, and it just preserves these vehicles. Now, I don't know what this thing runs like. I haven't talked to the customer at all, or the owner of this at all, but it's a superb car. And if it's got all its compression on it, keep on driving it. It's awesome. We'll walk around it really quick. Yeah, it's got the original wheels on it. Those are, you know, the original wheels that came with this. I think this is a 79, 70, or 80. It's a little faded in the back, so maybe it was sitting out in the sun a bit in the back here. Right here. You can see a little bit of fadedness, but maybe you just keep that as a patina of the car. It says, I think in there, 59,000 miles. But the interior looks really in good shape. You could do things with those door cards. You can recover those seats. I just had to take a look at the car and stop off. There's minimal body work. I think there's a little dent in the bumper, and you can fix that up. We've been out in the mountains for about a week now, and we've encountered elk poop, deer poop, bear poop, wolf poop, coyote poop, tons of cow poop. They free range out here, and if the landowners want, they can lease out these properties and let the cowboys free range their cows. We've encountered elk track, bear track, deer track, wolf track, horse, cow, of course, all that. I have seen actually no elk, no deer. And I think what has actually happened is earlier in the month, the bow hunters came in and put a lot of pressure in the area. Not too many bow hunters in this property, because my family doesn't allow hunting other than specific people to hunt on the property, mainly family. But there was 1 or 2 that was allowed to come into the area and bow hunt. And then I think the cowboys came in and moved the cows out of the property, and that put additional pressure in the area, and a lot of the elk and game and deer have moved out. That, or in a combination of the migration of the elk, has already occurred in this area, and we just got here at the wrong time for that to happen. Don't feel bad whatsoever. I've had a great time out here in the mountains. The weather has been great. It's been actually not that cold during the day. The scenery is outstanding. I've had great time with my dad and bonding with him in the mountains. I've gotten my exercise galore. My pants are falling off me. I know I've lost at least 10, 15 pounds. I've got my steps in, if that's what anybody's wondering. That's for sure. Lots of hiking, lots of knowledge in the area, and I've put some of that on the video. We spend 2-3 days out in the mountains, and then we go back into town, Helena, go see family, get a good meal, go see Helena and some of its attractions and its visitor sites, and that's been wonderful. You'll notice I'm in the truck right now, and that's because my dad's snoring has gotten better of me tonight. That's not a big deal. I'm sure I have snored on this trip and probably kept my dad up, but tonight I decided to jump into the truck. That's actually not that big of a deal. It's probably 30 degrees outside, or 25 outside, maybe 30 inside this truck. One of the last things I did was last minute decision. I went and bought a very good sleeping bag before I left Houston. It's 70 degrees inside this sleeping bag. It's rated at like
21 degrees comfortable. I'm at 15 degrees, and your body acts like an oven in here. Thank goodness I did that. For this reason, and in the campsite, I don't know, you probably can't see that. There's too much reflection in the window, and I'm not rolling down the window. But the campsite's right over here, and that's where the camper is, and the camper has run out of heat. It hasn't run out of propane. I think what has happened is the battery has run out or too low in juice. It'll still operate the lights, but I don't think it has enough juice to ignite the pilot light on the heater. So there's no heat in that camper either. We turn on the stove for a little bit before we go to sleep and heat up the camper a little bit, but you don't want to run that stove all night long. You asphyxiate yourself. So we run it for a little bit, heat up the cabin and camper, and jump into the sleeping bags. So, but it's comfortable here. I might be a little bit cramped because I'm not in one of the camper beds. That's not a big deal. I can suffer through that. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. I don't know how much longer we're going to be out here. To find any elk is going to be luck. There's some stragglers out there. I know there are because I see fresh signs. I see rub trees. I see fresh, elk poop and tracks. They're out there, but they're scattered out, and to encounter one of them is going to be pure luck. We're just going to have to be at the right place at the right time. And we'll just see what happens. And maybe for a couple more days, maybe tomorrow. Who knows how much longer we're going to stay out here. The weather might depict that. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to get some sleep.
Well, this is what it looks like when it's 25 degrees outside and snowing. For me, anyway. Scott tip for you. Get a little finger condom or end of a glove on top of your barrel to keep the snow from going down the barrel. Look. Very quiet. Ooh. Don't make it run. Actually, these are some of the nicest and tamest elk I've ever seen. Let you walk right up to them. I think I'll name this one Betsy. What do you think about Betsy? To me, she looks a bit, promiscuous. Like she's telling guys, boys, look at this. Maybe that's what the deal's supposed to be. All right, I've had enough. We're out of here. I've heard about this place. It's off 25 in Wyoming. My dad's told me about it, and I've never really believed him or the extent of it. He said all these 57 Chevrolets just lined up, and I thought, well, whatever. And I've gone up 25 100 times, and I've never seen the spot until just now. It's going back down 25 down to Texas, and there it is. I can see it now, and so I had to turn around again and check this out. Now it's open, but I don't want to go on the property. One, I don't want to get shot. We are in Wyoming. And two, I don't want to disrespect the owner. I think the owner's around here somewhere, but I can't find him. So I'm going to walk the perimeter of the property and kind of show you what I see. But this is what's off of here. And it looks like there's a bunch of Pontiacs going down through here. And we'll just go down the road and just check some of this out. Now, a lot of these cars are just sitting here. I wouldn't say rusting away, but kind of rotting away, these convertibles. And let's flip it around over here. But out here in this dry climate, all they really do is get weather beaten. Yeah, they got some surface rust on them, but this metal stays good for a long, long time. And this is just the tip of the iceberg on this spot right here. You know, you have some of these 4-doors and some of these Pontiacs. Looks like the Corvair right here. This looks to be like almost Pontiac Row. And you could probably pull some parts of it, but all of these cars they have good metal on them. I don't know what the underside of them look like, you know. I'm sure they have plenty of rodents in them and things like that, but it's a good parts car. This one still's got the motor sitting in it. I wonder, the way these cars are actually sitting, and they're not sitting up in the front end, I think the motors are all in these cars. Like this right here, yeah, that's a lot of work, but what a cool car to restore. Here are all those 57s that we were talking about. Now these are the wagons, and maybe not as interesting to some people, but I really started to like wagons. I'd love to have a Nomad, but you know, they're a bit pricey. And again, the metal on this, debatable whether or not how much of you have to rebuild. But just row and row and row after him. And he probably used these as parts cars. But on the other side over there, you can see there's where some of the 2-doors are, back inside there. There's a 55, I believe that is, right there on the other side. I always love that color in 57 Chevy. But looks like to be left is a bunch of 4-doors, a bunch of wagons. This truck right here would be an interesting one for sure. That GMC, to rebuild that, it'd make a great truck to work on.